Welcome back, everybody, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, LitecoinLeader. Let's try to get that voice a little bit moving again. A little early this morning, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys and tell you about a few things that are happening. It's Wednesday. I'm going to slow down, speak clearly, get it all out there. But I want to get you the information. First off, for any Patreon on LitecoinLeader at any level tonight, even if you're at like the thank you level, as a token gesture back tonight, Patrick and I are giving all members of Patreon access to the AMA tonight. You can join at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's only good. We're going to do it on a Zoom call. We're going to record it. If you can't make it, you want to leave a question, you can just respond back to the post. You have to register for the call, and then you join us. But it's a good conversation. It's usually about an hour. It can run a little bit late. But we like to have a forum that people can ask questions, especially off of the YouTube platform, because you never know when people want to ask about and where things are even safe or YouTube friendly, as we like to say. But we'll talk about the new Ledger wallet and what that looks like and why I like it or don't like it. I'm leaning towards don't like it right now. And I'll talk about good alternatives. We'll talk about the news. Like, the news has been pretty light. We're going to get into CBDCs pretty much today. And I want to talk about that and talk about regulations and legislation. And that's going to lead into tomorrow's show, why that's so important. But I just want to get out there. Like, the news is pretty slow right now. We're waiting for next Wednesday when the Fed raises rates again. But it's Christmas time, right? It's 3 weeks till Christmas. People are trying to make ends meet and have a nice Christmas for their family. It's tough. I don't expect a lot of Christmas bonuses out there this year, but people are doing the best they can. I still can't get over the fact that they said that you could feed a family for 10 and Thanksgiving for $66 and change. That was ridiculous. I don't think you can get 10 Happy Meals for that. Not that you want a Happy Meal, as most of us know. You talk about that on another platform. But tonight, again, the AMA is for all Patreons at 8 p.m. If you can't make it, I will record it. I will share it through Patreon to all Patreon levels as well. But I want to give everybody a sample of what we do in the typical format, because it's better when it's interactive and people can ask questions. They can ask, like, what do they think of this project or that project, or where's this coin heading? Direction of price and timing is always the hardest thing to predict, but we can give our sentiments on the project, whether we still like it or not. But I also want to share, as you can see, take it across. I have a backup channel now. It's called EconomicLeader. It's on YouTube. I'll be doing other things besides just crypto, trying to break up like what the purpose of each channel is. This channel is predominantly crypto or stories that tie back to crypto, whereas more economic stuff, I'm trying to lean that more towards the other channel. It's going to be tough to figure out the balance of the two, but I'm going to work through it. But all I ask is that if you're subscribed here, please subscribe over to the backup channel so you don't miss anything. And now I'm going to talk about CBDCs. Now, I did a video recently. I'll point up here and make sure it's up here, but I did the ABCs of CBDCs. And this is the kind of thing, if you're gathering around the dinner table at Christmas or New Year's, please, like, the conversations can go wherever they will when you get a group of people together for family, a family gathering, as you probably already know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you've seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Perfect example. Just gathering around the table, and everybody doesn't always think the same way, and you have these conversations that could cause some friction. CBDCs and finance and Bitcoin and all that stuff could pop up. So I want you guys to be informed about what's going on. The video I made, again, up here, the ABCs of CBDCs, it's points that you can point to, talking points to say, hey, do you really want, why the CBDC isn't necessarily a good thing for not just Americans, but people in general. And I went through all that. I won't go through it again, but just check out that video, check that out. Check it out, and of course, check out the backup channel. Check out the EconomicPreppers video that we do. That's another platform that we can't talk about certain things here, but Dylan and Patrick and myself can sit there. We will start to have guests soon as well, but we talk about all things economics and interest rates and real estate and so on. It's really good. Check that out too, and that's for free over in Rumble and on BitChute. And I know it's a lot to follow, but I really appreciate you guys following us and listening to what we have to say. There's three guys just sharing our thoughts about certain things. But today, let's hit on CBDC real quick. So let me share my screen, and we're going to talk about 3 articles with Cointelegraph. If you guys are having issues with CoinDesk, I can't get on CoinDesk. It's giving me some kind of weird warning. I'll have to talk to Patrick about that. But if you guys are having the same issue with CoinDesk.com, for their news, let me know. Leave it in the comments, because I go there and I get like this warning that's not secure anymore. So, but let's go over to CBDCs. And first off, like, we get this one report that comes out, why stakeholders are against CBDCs. This walks through a lot of different articles that are out there that the European Union's kind of opposed to it right now. I talked about that the other day, about why they don't like it and why it's really comes down to they have to get adoption. Same thing's going on in Namibia. Oh man, I should know. I think it's the ENAIRA, so I think that's Nigeria. I think that's where it is, and it's just not being successful. But the main point is that they want to push CBDCs and they want them to be adopted. Otherwise, they're going to fail, and that's what the articles are highlighting. But if you think that the United States is the only place looking at this, or the European Union, no. Look at the other places that are testing it out. Pakistan's looking to launch it in 2025. That's one story that's out there. But the other story is in Indonesia. They put out this story, and I didn't see anybody cover this. The central bank there plans to make CBDCs the only legal digital tender in Indonesia. Now, I want to highlight this a little bit just because of their plan, and I'll drop out of this in a moment, but I don't know where I left off because I got a phone call. So I'm just going to pick up, and here we go. So Indonesia is looking at making the CBDC for their only legal digital tender, and I wanted to walk through this article a little bit, just talk about the plan of their rollout. According to the governor, I guess, of Indonesia, the Bank of Indonesia intended for the digital, I'm going to say rupee. I'm not sure. If you know better than me, please leave in the comments, but I'm going to call that a rupee. The digital rupee to be integrated, interconnected, and interoperable with other countries' CBDCs following discussions with central bank officials. I'm just going to point it out right here now. If you think that these officials and central bank personnel from other countries aren't talking to each other, you're mistaken. They're all talking to one another. They all want to figure out how to work with each other, how it all works together. Kind of why I think Brad Carlinghouse is talking to all of them as well from XRP. But they all want to have rails to talk to each other and be able to trade or transact between each CBDC that's out there in the world. The CBDC initiative called Project Garuda will start with the launch of a wholesale digital rupee for use cases of issuance, redemption, and interbank fund transfer, followed by monetary operations and financial market development. The project's white paper states that the third phase will deal with end-to-end transactions between wholesale and retail digital rupee users. And then it gives a map of how this all works out. Now, I want to point out this map. Can I zoom it? Oh, there we go. I zoomed it. So you start with the immediate state, the intermediate, and then the end state. I want to warn people that this is probably this is what they're doing. And just take a close look at this and just see that's basically 3 phases. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm just going to talk to you guys about what concerns me about this. Because first off, again, all these central banks talk to each other. And they're going to use the United States won't be the test bed for the CBDC in the United States. That won't be the test. The test will be done in some other smaller country, probably while the other G7s are watching it, and the Euro company, the ECB, European Central Bank, will be watching how that goes in these other countries like Indonesia or other places that it's rolling out, and you see what happens in Nigeria and happens in Indonesia, the ones that are getting there faster. And they're going to try different strategies to rolling it out and see how it goes. Now, the ENAIRA, not being adopted very much, but this one in Indonesia, they're going to be pushing out, and they're going to be pushing out in phases. And if you know what the Cantillon Effect is, or Cantillon, the articles, I know uneducated economist Simon, he talks about it a lot, those letters. It basically, in a nutshell, it's an economic theory from hundreds of years ago. I think it was English-French guy. That's Cantillon, why that's the French name. But the idea is that whoever gets new money first gets the best advantage, meaning that just say, the example I like to give, just say there's 100 widgets for sale and 100 people, and everybody's got $1, and the price of the widget is $1, so everything balances out. 100 people come in, they buy one widget for $1 each, they walk out, everybody's happy. Now, something happens, like one guy gets an extra $50 and walks in there, right? Now he can buy 50 of these things immediately because the price is still $1. And then by the time everybody figures out there's only 50 left, well, the guy selling them now raises it to $2 because that's how much money's left in the room. About $100 is still left. So he makes more money. Everybody suffers except the guy who gets that money first, which is the guy who got the first $50. That's what's going to be happening with that. As I go back to that map again, you can see, the digital rupee goes to the bankers first, and then eventually gets to the people. They by the time it gets to them, they see these higher prices by that point. Whereas the first people in the gray section they buy at the current prices before the prices go up to reflect the fact there's new money in circulation, new currency. That's the problem. So again, CBDCs are going to be tried and rolled out in many different ways across the planet, across many different countries, different strategies, see what works. And then it'll come to Europe. And even in Europe, they'll probably have like different flavors. Maybe UK does something different than the Euro, the ECB, maybe, and Turkey and Pakistan and other countries do different things. It's going to be an interesting mix of how it all rolls out. So, but I'm going to talk tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to record it next. But I'm going to talk tomorrow about regulation and CBDCs and the big picture of the timing and how all this comes together. So I'm looking forward to your comments. Are you having problems with CoinDesk? What are your thoughts on CBDCs? What other countries are you looking at? Do you know how to say rupee in Indonesia? These are the kind of things, as I talk to myself and a camera, I would like to know. So leave in the comments down below. If you're a Patreon, please join us at 8 p.m. tonight, or at least leave a question. If you can't join us or not a Patreon yet and want to join for $5 a month, you get a free AMA tonight. So there's a little Christmas present. So join us for Patreon. The link's in the description. It's patreon.com/LitecoinLeader. Really hard to miss. Let's see. I can probably change my name right now, and I'll do it while we're talking. So let's put that right up so everybody can see it. So it's patreon.com/LitecoinLeader. And there it is. Okay. Real time change. So there it is. Go to that Patreon, join us for $5, join the AMA tonight, ask a question about crypto, economies, inflation, whatever. Find out some of the news that we've got going on. That Patrick and myself, we're both going to be in there tonight. What's going on for us, what's going on for me this month, and why this is probably the last time I'll be doing an AMA from this particular studio, and we'll talk about it there and then. But with all that said today, that's a lot. I'm going to close the door on the bureau, say follow leader one more time, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.